There are times in our life that like we'll never forget where we were when that moment happened. I remember being in the third grade when the Challenger spaceship blew up. I remember where I was. That was just a moment that was just kind of locked in my brain. I'll never forget where I was. And there were just these like monumental moments that happen. You just never forget where you were. And a year ago today, I had one of those moments that you'll never forget where you were and what you were doing. Like, I will genuinely never forget where I was and what I was doing when I found out that Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and several other people on a helicopter had crashed, and all of them had perished. I'll never forget that moment. And I think that was, for me, that was when 2020 started to turn into an unusual year. Shortly after that was the pandemic. I remember at that time I was hanging out with my business partner, Anna Francis, and she had just arrived from New Zealand, and we were making our way towards Austin, Texas. Just so excited about this conference that I was about to host. And I had no idea that that would be the last live event that I would host, because the pandemic shortly thereafter swarmed in or swooped in or kind of took over the world, making gathering live impossible. It's funny, it seems like 10 years ago. But I woke up today and I was reflecting on this. I also have a really, really close friend who also has a loss in his life. And it just has me thinking about just how precious life is, how none of our moments are guaranteed, how none of our experiences are guaranteed, how none of our circumstances have guaranteed are guaranteed. It's just like we live in this world where I'm certainly guilty of taking for granted that, everything will be the way that it should be. But that's actually not the case. If you had told me back then that conference I was hosting would be the last conference or the last live event that I would host for now coming up on a year and counting, like there's no telling when this is going to end, I wouldn't have believed you. Even when the pandemic happened, I was so arrogant and taking for granted. I just thought, it'll be 2, 3, 4 weeks of restrictions, lockdowns, and masks, and everything will go back to normal. And here we are a year later, and like there is no normal anymore. And I'm just sitting here thinking how important it is to cherish life, to cherish your experiences, to cherish opportunities and circumstances and the environment, because none of this is entitled. None of this is entitled to us. Like, we could lose it in a flash, just like that. And I'm certainly going to live my life thinking about how precious every moment is, and I encourage you to do the same, because we just never know what's coming around the corner.